Hello, this is Wendy. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching this video, it's because you're one of my awesome subscribers to my email list. So I want to show you the stuff we're using today. We're going to use this Christmas Traditions punch box. If I can get it open, I'll show you what's inside. It comes with this awesome label, a clear block, a really cute stamp set, and 2 ink spots. So if these are inks that you don't happen to have, it's kind of a nice way to try them out and see if you like them. And the punch, it's the only way you can get this punch is to purchase this punch box. So I'm going to actually use a different color ink. That was Real Red, and I'm going to use Poppy Parade, some Terran tape, and then I've got my designer series paper. And of course I'm going to use my trimmer. I really wanted to show you the take your pick tool also. This comes off and is replaceable. And then the other end is a piercer on one side, a spatula on the other, and then it comes with this little stylus that can go in the other end. And you just lock it and unlock it and put it in and out. It's so wonderful. I love this tool. And the other end that screws out is a sticky tacky end. So if you're applying little stuff like sequins or picking up little pieces of paper, then you can use that end. Okay, we're going to get started to make this adorable box. We're scoring it on the long side. By the way, this is cut at 4.5 by 8. We're going to score it on the long side at 1, 3.5, 4.5, and 7. And then we're going to flip it to the 4.5 inch side, and we're going to score it at 1 inch and 3.5 inches. And this box is so super simple to make. So every year after Christmas is my big shopping day. The day after Christmas, I go and I scour the store for, not always the day after, sometimes it's a couple days after. I go and scour the stores for really good deals on things like soaps, lip glosses, books, anything that would normally be in the Christmas section, and I buy so much of it that it fills up like a big plastic tote. And this is one of my tricks. Then when I do that, I have a whole bunch of gifts on hand for the following year. And I'm able to make you little videos like this with stuff that's really actually not out yet, released at the stores. I quickly realized I needed to cut on the polka dot side in order to be able to see my score lines. I just could not see them on that other side. So I'm cutting in on all my score lines here. Well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say all of them. The center ones are going to both get cut in, and then I like to angle my tabs so that the box closes better. And then on each end of this box, you're going to want to cut the tabs. I'm not sure how to articulate this. Cut the tabs so that the cut part is facing you, not side to side, if that makes sense. So the way I cut these is how you need to cut them. Because if you don't cut them this way, the seams of the box aren't going to go together as nicely. I hope that makes sense. So trust me, I did it twice. So I made several of these little boxes coming up with the correct pattern. Also, by the way, if you haven't seen my blog post and you're just watching this video, on my blog post today, which is linked where the exclusive info's at, my blog post has a diagram of where everything needs to be cut. But this is a really good picture right here to show you how all the cut pattern needs to be. Listen, if you cut these going in the different direction, the ones on each end, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's just your seams won't be as nice. That's all. So now I'm using Terran tape adhesive, and you can see that I'm taking my time to put 2 pieces down on each tab. Reason being is because with boxes, first of all, using snail adhesive often doesn't work because it just doesn't hold the way it should. Anytime you make a box or anything like that, it has tension on the paper, and the paper will tend to want to pull apart. So my suggestion is to always use a really strong adhesive like sticky strip, which was our old adhesive, or this tear and tape. I love this tear and tape because you literally can do exactly what it says, tear it. You don't have to cut it. I hated that when we used the sticky strip, you had to fiddle with scissors, and while you were trying to get this really sticky stuff off, it was just kind of a nightmare, frankly. So I love this stuff. If you don't have any of this stuff, you should totally get some because it's way easier to use than other strong adhesives I've found out there. Okay, so the first step I think is the most important is to remove your tear and tape from each end, the tabs on each end, and close up each end of these boxes first. Then you can make the decision which side you want to be your lid and which side you want to be your base. So whichever side you want to be your lid needs to not be adhered to the tabs. Okay, that's really important. So whichever side is your base is where you need to adhere these tabs to. And you're going to see right here I make a mistake. And I left this in because I wanted you to see what I was talking about. I adhered one, or might have been on my other project, but I think it's on this one. So I adhered it to one side, to the top side, and realized pretty quickly afterwards that I had done the wrong thing. Nope, it's not this one. It was the one I previously made. Sorry. That's how I learned the trick. I accidentally adhered it to the top. So now you can see that the lid will swing freely. Had I adhered these to what I would want to be the lid, then it wouldn't swing freely at the top. Okay, so another note. Right here, if you look at this box, you can see that the elves are facing the right way when you open it. You have to pay attention to that when you're creating the base and the lid. If your paper is directional, you need to make sure that your base is the piece in the right direction, so that when you open the lid, you can obviously see on this box, in this case, you open the lid and the elves are going up and down. They're standing up. They're not upside down hanging. So if I would have made the other side my base, then it would have caused me to have upside down elves, and nobody wants upside down elves, am I right? So the most important thing, not as big of a deal on this box, but if you had directional designer paper that you were making the outside of it with the directional part, then that's obviously going to be way more important, right? Like you wouldn't want to create something where the stuff on the outside of the box was upside down and stuff like that. Or maybe you would. I don't know. So anyway, that's just a little tip. So I've got this gorgeous ribbon, tied it from top to bottom first and then side to side, just wrapping it around the box. So when I went into the back of the box, I just crossed it over each other and then came around the front of the box and tied a little bow. And trimming off the excess here, and it was driving me crazy that the tail pieces weren't both coming down. I have the hardest time with bows, and I'm not kidding you. When I was a child, my mother obsessed over bows. Like when she tied a bow, she obsessed over it, and it drove me crazy. I'm not kidding you. I hated it. And she would be packaging a gift and tie a bow on it and just would fuss with the bow. I'm not joking you, for a half hour trying to make it look perfect. And I always thought to myself, why are you wasting so much time tying a bow? It's a bow, for God's sake. But now I get it. One of the many, 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 many things in life that I go, okay, Mom, I get it now. I mean, there's some things I still don't get, right? I think we all have that. But there's a whole lot of things I go, okay, I get it. And I don't even know what it is. I don't know why I want the bow to be so perfect, but I do. I want it to look really good. Especially, I think, when I'm making something handmade. I'm not as fussy if I'm doing like a gift or, I don't know. There's certain things I'm way more fussy about. Anyway, look at this punch. Look how perfect this fits. So stinking cute. So I went to put it on the card and I just felt like it was too small and too much red. So I went over and grabbed one of my circle punches. Frankly, don't even know which one I used. Probably 1 3/8 or 1.5 inch circle punch. Grabbed it and grabbed another piece of this DSP that was green with little white trees on it and punched that circle out to pop it underneath this sentiment just to break this up a little bit. Honestly, I mean, it probably would have been fine just like it was, but I just felt like it needed just a little something to break up all that red. So I added it. You can't even see the trees. You literally can just see a little bit of the green poking out on each end, which I kind of think is cute. And then on each side, it pokes out on each side as well. So added dimensionals to this because I literally almost cannot make a card unless it's dimensional, unless I'm doing like a scene. If I'm stamping a big scene, then I can definitely do it. Sorry about that weird situation there. I looked down at my video and the screen said that it was like paused. And so I like grabbed it really quick and messed with it. Anyway, that's my little note card and my box. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you want all the dimension details, they're over on my blog at loveandstampin.com. You can shop with me at shoploveandstampin.com. You can watch other 12-week of Christmas videos with me here, and subscribe to my channel by clicking the little circle with my face.